This is our end of the year podcast episode. This is our end of the year episode. We're gonna talk about how the year went, our goals to the going into 2024, and we have great news for you guys. Interest rates. The Fed has announced interest rates will be coming down this coming year. So we're gonna talk about what you should be doing and thinking about if you're planning on becoming a homeowner this coming year.
Yeah, very excited about those. What was it? 6.75% interest rates.
Yeah.
Compared to what? Like 7,
Eight. It was like
8%?
8. They was creeping up a little bit above 8 just under 30 days ago.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
And now they're coming down a little bit, so it's good. It's great news for people who own a home already, who bought at a higher interest rate. Hold on a little bit longer, and in 2024 you'll be able to refinance if you want to into a lower rate. And that's gonna lower your monthly payment and do all sorts of good things for you, right? So, a couple topics, boys. Where do we want to start first? Do we want to start off? With 2023 cap, right? Recap, how it went, and how we feel about 2023 overall, how we did individually and also as a team, right? Because for us, we started all of this in 2023.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. How do we feel about it?
Well, let's paint the picture coming into 2023, right? The hype of the market completely died, right? The end of 2022. From, let's say, November, December is when the interest rate skyrocketed, right? So people don't want to buy anymore. People want to stay in the houses that they bought at the 3% interest rates. And now the market is dead, basically.
Yeah, things have cooled down. Houses are starting to sit more on the market, which is a great opportunity for buyers because if you're looking for a market where you can get seller concessions, where you can negotiate, home inspections and stuff like that, and you're not dealing with a lot of competition, the market right now is the time to do it because everybody is worried about the holidays. They're worried about, whatever else they're worried about, and there's not a lot of competition in the housing market right now. But we are around the corner of the time where things start to heat up, especially with all these announcements that the Fed is going to start to lower interest rates. Renee, what do you think about the year so far?
Wild year, man.
Highlights
in real
pitfalls.
estate. I mean, in business, it's been awesome because we teamed up. We started doing this podcast. Started working together. And the market itself, I've been doing this for a while. I've seen ups and downs. I've never seen anything like this. But I also know that it's all secular, like we say, right? So we know that right now things are high, but eventually things will go low. And there's so many theories on this, man. And is it good that the rates will go low? You know what I mean? Is it good that if they do it real fast, or should they do it slowly, or so there's all kinds of theories on how this is going to happen. Economically, the economy is doing great. Jobs report was great. And basically, from what I understand, the feds are kind of saying, hey, yeah, we kind of overdid it, but it was good. You know what I mean? It was good because, we got inflation to go down, and it's manageable now. So now, I guess the fear is making it, if you lower rates too fast, what's going to happen, right? Is inflation going to tick back up? Because if that happens, then they're going to have to raise the rates again.
Yeah.
So it's like they're trying to find a balance of, where they're going to lower them, when they're going to lower them, and do it slowly, you know what I mean? So we don't get the inflation to go back up, because that's kind of what was making everything high, right? We had an episode where we talked about almost 100,000 agents leaving the industry. That's about 10 to 15%. Some people estimate, right?
Yeah.
So that happened, and now we're looking forward to, like you said, the Fed actually announced that they look forward to rate decreases next year, starting in May. It'll probably be the first one.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So definitely optimistic. On a personal note, had a little baby girl. You know what I mean? Born in July. She's actually 5 months today. So on a personal note, man, we got that going on. So excited about that. You know, and holidays are coming up, man. So about to spend some time with the family, and you know, try to end the year right and feeling positive for next year, man.
Yes. So a lot of great things happen. Like Renee said, we started working together this year. As you guys know, I haven't been in the real estate business as long as Renee has, and I'm grateful to him. Everything he's done for me, he's been a great friend, great mentor to me. And I'm glad that we've been able to start, you know, a podcast. We've been able to, you know, start growing the business together, and we were able to bring in Edwin as well. Like, you know, so I'm glad. I'm looking forward to what 2024 has to offer to us, and it's always going to be exciting to see. You know, Edwin, how do you feel? Like, what are you looking forward about 2024?
I'm very optimistic for 2024. I feel like a lot of big changes are going to happen. We have quite a few projects that we have going on that would put us 10 steps ahead of everybody, right?
Yeah.
I would like to think. We can only hope, right? Like this podcast, it's going to keep on growing.
Yeah.
And then some on the business side also of real estate.
And it's only going to keep on growing if you guys like and subscribe. So like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. And we're also, by the way, sorry to cut you off, Edwin. Me and Renee were talking. He said he wants to do a giveaway.
Oh yeah.
For a gift card. We haven't decided the details yet, if it's going to be for a specific, you know, maybe to get you some coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin', whatever, or just a regular, you know, gift card. So we're still hashing out the details, but when are we going to announce a winner?
I don't know. I guess you should have thought about it a little more.
We'll get the details, but I know the one way you can be eligible to win is you have to like, subscribe, and comment. Leave us let us know what was your favorite part of the episode. And we are going to pick a winner at random and reach out to you and hash out the details. So
Start the year off strong.
Of course. So like and subscribe. So Edwin, like I was saying, so, you know, talk to us about what was it like? What was 2023 like for you as a real estate agent? What were some of the things that some of the difficulties you encountered, and what are some of the lessons that have stuck with you?
One of the biggest lessons I think that stuck with me was patience. Is be a little more patient. In this business, you have to be patient. A lot of things are out of your control. So you know, this year was tough. I would say, you know, I'm still fairly new to the industry also.
Yeah.
So it came with its challenges and its learning curves. I would think the biggest challenge was is learning a little more patience. It's not gonna happen overnight, right? And then also just seeing the shift with people I was trying to help. They didn't want to move forward. You know what I'm saying? They listened to a lot of the things said on the news to their friends, and sometimes people, you know, they caved in and decided to listen to that and not purchase or not move forward or not come sit down with me, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean, one thing I learned was patience.
Yeah, of course. And when it comes to that, like, you know, we've had a lot of a meaningful conversation with potential clients and stuff like this, and I think I agree with what you said. Is that a lot of people, they and let's say somebody's in the process of wanting to buy a house, but they stop somewhere in the process because a family member or a friend tells them, hey, like, you know, you should wait. Because of X reason, or, you know, and because, you know, that person, that potential buyer, that potential client is more prone to listen to a family member instead of a professional who's in the industry, who knows what's going on, you know, day to day. We keep up with, you know, all the ins and outs of the industry. And it sucks when that happens, but it's all about, like, you know, it's not about if that person is going to buy. It's just a matter of when that person is going to buy. You know, our job is just to stay in contact, and your job, if you're a real estate agent, your job is just to stay in contact with the person. Remember, the follow up is always the most important thing. And like, I want to touch on what you said, right? Because me and you we haven't been in the real estate business as long as Renee has, so I want to kind of give a word of encouragement or some advice to somebody who's thinking about becoming a real estate agent, what they should expect, and what they should look forward to when becoming a real estate agent. You know, because I know there's a lot of information out there. You're a lot of, day in the life of a real estate agent, videos out there. So what are some tips or advice, just that you would say to that person that's thinking about becoming a real estate agent in this 2024? Edwin, what?
Well, I would say you're coming in at a pretty tough time if you don't have, let's say salesman experience or real estate experience or just a network you can work. And by that saying, I'm saying, hey, call them, talk to them, reach out to them, stuff like that. If you're starting off from nothing, it might be pretty difficult, and for a while you might not see anything come out of it, right? But that doesn't mean you're not doing the right things. It doesn't mean you're not putting in the work. It just means you have some way to go to learn and improve on whatever you may be lacking.
Yeah. So what are some of the skills you think that somebody should start if they're thinking about becoming a real estate agent? What are some of the skills that they should start to think about or acquire before becoming a real estate agent? What do you think?
The biggest one I would say is just learning how to properly communicate, getting your point across, making sure you listen and the person you're talking to listens also, so that there's no misunderstanding with what you're trying to portray.
Okay.
I would say that's probably bottom line, because this is like a people to people business, right? You're talking to people.
Yeah.
They want information. You have the answers, and you have to demonstrate those answers properly. They understand, so that they can make the best decisions for themselves at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. I guess for me it would be, before we let the veteran agent give us his tips, I would say from my experience, right, how it was for me, do your research as much as you can before getting licensed, before becoming a real estate agent. Figure out what your big why is. Why are you getting into real estate? Are you doing this for the money? Are you doing it because of the lifestyle that is portrayed online? Like, really ask yourself. You got to have a big why to stick with real estate. Anybody can. The barrier to entry is very low, but that's, you'll realize that not many agents stick with it, because I think, me personally, is because they don't have a big enough why. Another thing is, have a plan. Have a plan to like, so you can hit the ground running as quick as possible. Start to look for a mentor, somebody who's in a position where you would want to be, who's doing business the way you want to do business, and see how you can provide value to that person in order for you to get ahead of the rest. Because that's how you're really going to crush it in this business, is to learn on the shoulders of giants, honestly. So those are the tips that I have, that I've learned through me being an agent in this industry. So, Renee, any tips? Did I miss something?
No, I mean, you guys actually did great. And I was just thinking to myself, man, I didn't do any of those things when I first started, you know what I mean? I'd say, look, I think everything you guys said is legit. That's exactly what you need to do. And, having a why, that's going to be very important, because that's going to carry you through the dark days, and there's going to be a lot of them. I would say, look, be honest with yourself, man. Real estate is such a big spectrum. You can do a lot of things in real estate, and you can be good. You got to kind of, it'll take time to find kind of like your area, your zone. But I think off the start, just be honest with yourself. Remember how your parents told you, don't talk to strangers?
Yeah.
Real estate's the opposite of that. You see what I'm saying? Talk to every stranger. You know what I mean? So are you comfortable with that? You know what I mean? Think about how am I going to get business, right? Because you're about to be in business, and the number one thing you're going to see after you get your license, and you think, okay, well, I'm licensed, it's ready to go. No, the next thing is going to be, well, how do I get clients? You know what I mean? And that's where if you get a mentor, you know, they can help you out. Maybe, you know, work with business, work on business with you together. But ultimately, how am I going to get clients? You know what I mean? Am I a techie person? Like, am I going to be on social media? Like, do I like that stuff? Is that how am I going to interact with people? Am I a more person to person? Like, am I just going to, you know, talk to everybody I see on the streets and hand out my business cards, right? And that goes hand in hand with the other thing I was going to say. Don't be shy, man. In the beginning, what happens is you want to get everything right. And because of that, maybe you won't tell people, hey, I'm in real estate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you have your license, you're ready to start. The rest is like you said, if you have a good mentor, a good team around you, you should have good people around you, right?
Yeah.
But that would be it, man. Identify how you're going to get clients. Like, you know, clients are just going to appear out of nowhere. You're going to have to go get them. Are you going to hit the streets and talk to people, pass out, you know, cards, let people know who you are?
Yeah.
Are you going to pay for attention? You know what I mean? Yeah. You got some money? Hey, man, Facebook ads, we run Facebook ads, Google ads. These are great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going to do money or you sweat equity, you're going to go out there and knock on doors. Look, whatever you're going to do is like, you know, have a plan on how you're going to get clients in your first 30 to 60 days in this business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if I'm looking at it, if I could go back, what would I do? Right. So that would be number one. Right. And then number two, which goes hand in hand, let everyone know what you do now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not their fault they don't know.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I would say, hey, look, people say, well, we'll start with your phone. People usually have anywhere from 200 to about 2,000, the normal person, contacts in your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I asked you that, and I asked you that when we started working together. Does everyone in your phone know you're a real estate agent now?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the truth is, there's a lot of real estate agents out there that's, you know, they hesitated. I hesitated at first. I'll be honest with you. I was just like, because a lot of the initial, I remember some of the doubts that went through my head were like,
paperwork.
I don't know anything about being a real estate agent though. It's like they're gonna be like, hey, you're new. Like, why would I want to work with you? You know. And then I was listening to another podcast where an agent was like, that's your pitch right there. It's like, you would want to work with me because listen, I'm new, meaning I have all the attention to give you. I'm gonna be day and night devoted to you. You know, because this is my career, my job depends on it right now. I have nobody else to give my attention to, so it's just gonna. I only have eyes for you, so why not give me a shot, type of thing.
There you go.
And it makes sense. It all comes down to how you communicate it to that other person, right? Because we're all gonna start new somewhere. Whether you started a new job or W-2, whatever it is, we're all gonna be new at something at some point. And the only way you're gonna get good at it is through experience, through you doing it, you know, and the more time you spend on it. And also, like, don't sweat the paperwork. You know, it's important. Yes, that's the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first started working with Renee. That was one of my biggest concerns. And I would tell him, I'm like, yo, I need to learn how to, you know, I want to get good at writing contracts, writing offers, all of this. He was like, listen, when you get your first client, that's going to be the best experience, right? Because then it's a live action example of how everything is going to go. Like you're going to see because every client is different. Every offer is going to be different. And that's the best way to learn. And I didn't understand it at first. I was like, what do you mean? It's just going to be. And then until I, you know, started seeing it for myself, and I was like, okay, now I see. Because there's differences in, you know, this person's situation from this person's situation. So, yeah. You know, and
there's different paperwork.
Yeah, there's different paperwork.
Right? So if you want to buy if you want to buy a condominium, it's different than a single family, and vice versa, whatever, right? So I don't know what you're about to get into, right? So until you have the kind and you're going through it, it's kind of hard to teach you. That I always told you that was one of the big things for me coming from like a corporate structure where, you know, they give you the training video, the manual, and basically, you know, generally whatever problem is probably going to be resolved by the manual.
Yeah.
In real estate, there is no manual. If there was, it'd be like 3 million pages long. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the issue, you know. So when you first get started, don't get frustrated. If there's no manual and, you know, if you're used to 9-to-5 jobs where they kind of tell you what to do, don't get frustrated by that. Because real estate, every transaction is fluid. It's going to be different.
Yeah, I agree. You know, when I first most new agents, you're either gonna, depending on if you join a big brokerage or if you join a boutique brokerage, it's gonna be different, right? I'd say if you're a new agent, you're most likely gonna join a big brokerage where they're gonna have a lot of resources. They're gonna teach you marketing. They're gonna teach you lead gen. They're gonna provide
Probably have a trading program.
yeah, they're gonna have training programs, right? Which I'd say, take advantage of all of that, and then, you're gonna learn about splits, what splits benefit you. I mean, at first you're a new agent, you don't really have much negotiation power, because they're giving you all the tools and you don't really know anything yet. So I'd say take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's the old adage, right? You can teach someone, you can toss them a fish, or you can teach them how to fish.
Yeah.
So when you're a new agent, don't just concentrate on getting fish. Like, learn how to fish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that way, you can go out and get your own fish, catch your own fish on your own. You know what I mean? Instead of depending on someone else to be handing you fish. Right?
Exactly. So
I mean, everything the big brokerages are doing, you can probably do after maybe your first couple of deals. You can start mimicking some sort of that process and do it on your own.
yeah, I would say, like, learn everything you can, and then if you feel like you have a grip on what you're doing, hey, go find 100% brokerage and do it yourself. If you already have the systems in place and you know how to get business coming to you steadily, like, branch off and do your own thing. But as a brand new agent, always join, find a mentor if you want, join a team and do what you need to do in order to get ahead in real estate. And I don't doubt, never forget, like, remember, have a big why. That's what's going to keep you going. Like Renee said, when things get rough, when there's cloudy days, like, you got to have a big reason as to why you're in real estate.
Yeah.
And
then financially, right? This is something I think we need to talk about. Don't be so optimistic. You know what I mean? Like I said, unless you're signing up for a team and they're guaranteeing you closings or something like that, you don't know when your next check is going to be, right? When your next, payment is going to be, compensation is going to be. So I would say a lot of what happens is people try to transition, right, from whatever job they're at to real estate.
Yeah.
My advice, like I said, would be don't quit your day job. You know what I mean? Real estate, definitely, especially when you start, you shouldn't have a lot of clients, so it shouldn't take up most of your day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't let go of my source of income before coming into real estate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially if you have a family, if you have a lot of responsibilities.
If you have responsibilities.
Yeah, don't.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. You know what I mean?
And you'll hear mixed responses when it comes to this. You could be the person that burns all the bridges and burns the boats and goes
right?
And goes full deep into it, and you crush it. Some people just work under pressure because like, man, I have X amount of days to get a deal done, or if not, there's no money in my account.
So I would definitely come in with the mentality that you might not close something immediately, right? So maybe come in with some reserves, man. 6 months to a year of
have
expenses.
A cushion.
Have a cushion. Yeah. That's another little piece of advice. I wish someone would have told me. When I got into real estate,
Yeah, you telling me. So that's just some advice that that off the fly that I love to give to new agents. Encouragement, to if you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent in this new year, like, think about these things and do your research and go for it, man. You can do it. Just like I said, follow these tips and I hope they help you. So let's segue into what we expect 2024. What are we most looking forward to, fellas? Where do we want to? How do we want individually, right? And as a team, how do we want this year to go? Like, what are you guys most looking forward to?
Okay, me personally, man. Like I told you from the beginning, rates are going to go up, rates are going to go down, how home prices are going to go up, go down. It's more about, like normalizing, because I can understand the public. I can understand the consumer. When they were looking at a house 1 year and there was X, and then the following year, it's totally different, right? So what I'm looking forward to is kind of things normalizing, you know what I mean? Especially on the buyer side, right? Buyers expect, they hear stories from when their aunt bought 5 years ago, or their cousin, and rate was 2 point something, and now rates are 7 something. Like, oh, why? And hey, things change. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But if you look at it, that whole time, 2-3%, that was historic. You know what I mean? On average, if you Google it or just look it up, on average, mortgage rates tend to be more like in the 6-7s. You know what I mean? It's 5, 6, 7s where
The normal.
Yeah, the norm. So I'm looking forward to the public normalizing. You know what I mean? Not saying, oh, 6 is such a high rate.
Yeah.
No, that's normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's starting to happen. People are starting to come around. A big fear of people was, the rates are going to keep going higher and higher, right?
Yeah.
Another thing, people are like, I'm going to wait till they go lower, like a lot lower. So I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. And I think people are understanding now that's the case, like the new normal, like they say, right? And I look forward to, people actually wanting to move forward with selling their house or buying their house now that they see that this is the market we're in now.
We need more supply, fellas. We need more houses out there for sale, so yeah, I agree with you. So basically you're ready for the market to normalize, to kind of like settle down, and I'd look forward to that too, and I think that with this news that the Fed announced that they're going to be cutting rates now, it's gonna bring a positive energy into everybody, kind of like, okay, like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel now. Like, we can look forward to that. So yeah, no, I guess for me it's I'm ready to like really grow the business and start to grow, the podcast. I enjoy this. I enjoy bringing value to people and just kind of putting our thoughts out there, and just one of the things I look forward to is just growing our audience, finding more people that we can relate to, and people who care for what we have to say. So yeah,
I think this is kind of like a personal opinion, but I think after the pandemic, during the pandemic, since all like the new hype around real estate, it kind of became like a new niche thing.
Podcast, everybody has a podcast.
Well, podcasts about real estate, content about real estate. Because before, I don't know if I was just out of the loop, I was a little younger or something, but I feel like real estate, if you're talking about real estate, it's because you're in real estate, you're buying real estate. Now I feel like this type of content is more accessible to just
there's a wider audience for it.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, because it's like real estate during the pandemic. Real estate was a big trending topic. Like
it was.
Yeah, so it's like now people who are, because I feel like at some level everybody knows about real estate.
Yeah,
they just don't know the nitty gritty of it, like what it actually takes to buy a house and to sell a house, and what it takes to invest in real estate, and what are the benefits of owning a home. Like, so that's what, because everybody understands that real estate, you invest in real estate, you're able to grow generational wealth.
Yeah.
They just don't understand
how. Yeah, how to do it.
That's what we're here for. Yeah. So, stick around, subscribe. Like I said, we're doing a giveaway. If you want to win a gift card, perfect opportunity. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we're gonna pick a winner at random. So yeah, fellas, I mean, I look forward to this year, man. I know this year there's a lot of blessings coming our way, and it's just I just know, I feel it. I feel it.
Well, we've been putting a lot of work in, bro.
Yeah.
And when you put in a lot of work, you're going to see the fruits of that. It's just that you're not in control of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's God's timing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All we can control is keep on working, man. Keep on putting these episodes out for y'all, more information. But yeah, we would love feedback, man. Like the reason, one of the reasons I want to do the prize or the contest or whatever, however we end up is, is it just me, viewing our videos 180 times, you know what I mean? 304 times or whatever. Or, are you guys out there?
Yeah.
And if you're out there, we want to see who it is and, give you a little thank you for it.
Yeah, we just want to encourage, we just want to engage, want people who listen to our stuff to know if we're doing a good job, or if we're just out here just babbling on for no reason, or if we're actually providing value to you guys.
We're getting a lot of these calls right now, right? We're getting the calls, hey, look, I want to buy, not right now, right? Right now I just need information. It's the end of the year. I'm about to do my taxes. But this upcoming year I want to buy. And a lot of what happens is this, right? We have a conversation. We tell them, look, this is what's going on. This is what you need. And somehow, the customer, the public makes it up in their mind. They say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go fix. You're right. Okay, I'm going to go fix some things, Renee. I'll see you back in 6 months. Right. And I'm like, okay, see you back in 6 months. The sad part is when they come back 6 months later and they're like, hey, I'm ready. right? And then you go, okay, go to the lender, they do the credit check or whatever, and then we find out, oh man, there's this one tiny little detail here that's gonna hold you up another 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they're all devastated, but I made plans, you know what I mean? And so I say that to say this, you know what I mean? We, as realtors, or at least the way we operate, we understand you're not going to buy the house right now, next week, or next month, right?
Yeah.
You're already telling me, the conversation started with you telling me, I want to buy next year. Okay, great. Start preparing now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. It's the end of the year. Start getting if you really want to buy a house this year, start now. You know what I mean? Start now. Remember, this is what I tell clients. Remember, look, what's the lender or the bank's business? Like, how do they make money? Lending you money. Like, that's how they make money. They want to lend you the money, right? There's just certain requirements and qualifications.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And here's the amazing thing. They're going to tell you exactly what's going on, exactly why they won't qualify. Hey, look, we won't qualify you because of this. So now it's like, now you have a head start, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get your stuff ready to address the problems they told you about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it works, man. If I think if the public would understand, it's a process, right? You got to start at point A, right? To get the point, wherever it is your destination is, right? But you have to start at point A, man. So what better time to start than right now, 2023, right?
Yeah.
Or the beginning of 2024 so you can actually buy this summer or this fall.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It starts with the first step is getting informed. Like Renee
Yeah.
said, if you know that your goal is to buy a house, whether let's say your plans are 6 months from now, you don't wait until it's 6 months from now to start educating yourself and informing yourself on what the requirements are, what you need to do, and how to get prepared. Don't wait. Just start now. There's no obligation. There's no commitment. It's just like when you go to a doctor to get a checkup to know what your overall condition is, right? So it's the same thing when you talk to a real estate professional, when you go talk to a lender and tell them, hey, look, I want to buy a house in 6 months. I want to know how good of a shape I am to be able to buy a house. What do I need to start working on? Cool. They're going to tell you, hey, okay, maybe if maybe you need to save up a little bit more money. Or maybe you just need to, fix your credit a little bit more, or, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But the point is, you're going to know what you need to work on. You're not going to have to guess. So that's the whole point. If you take anything away from this whole episode is start getting educated right now. Start doing your research. Talk to a professional, get informed, and kick off the year correct. So you know what you need to do.
Yeah, I just had a gentleman, we were talking to him with the lender, and he makes a good portion of his money in overtime. You see what I'm saying? In this upcoming year, he's basically like, hey, this year I don't think I'm gonna do too much overtime. And we're like, well, buddy, if you want the numbers to stay the way they are, you need to keep doing that overtime. You see what I'm saying? So that it goes right there. He's not thinking that. He's thinking, well, overtime is just extra money. You know what I mean? So, so I'll be okay. No, like they based a lot of your qualification was on that overtime that you've been getting for the last 2 years. You know what I mean? So no, you're gonna have to continue that. But if you want to stick with these numbers, you see what I'm saying? Sometimes people just don't know these things. So yeah, you need to start. With a lender so they can analyze it and tell you this is what's going on. Or maybe you need to work a little more overtime to get that house you want, right? So, whatever it is. So like that guy, if he didn't know that, he was about to make a big mistake. And then, his qualification would have gone down by like maybe 30-40%. You know what I mean? And they would be like, oh, I can't afford the house anymore. You guys didn't tell me that.
Exactly.
Well, we didn't know you were going to quit your overtime, bud. You know what I mean?
And if that isn't enough to go get you to talk to a lender and inform yourself before, I would like to say it's also free.
Yeah.
They won't charge you anything.
That's crazy.
To sit down with you, to talk to you about the process and tell you, okay, this is where we're at and this is how we can get here.
And folks, it might be free for a limited time, right?
Yeah.
Because in our industry, with what's happening in the courts, we don't know. What's going to happen to this buyer commission, right? So as buyer agents right now, the seller pays us. Or basically the listing agent, right, pays us to cooperate with him, and bring him a buyer for the house that he's listed, right? So the listing broker pays us. The way it's looking right now, that might disappear. You know what I mean? So now you as a buyer might have to come up with the commission to pay your representation now. We don't know where that's going to go. So, you know what I mean? Nobody knows. It's up in the air right now. So I would take advantage right now that I do not have to pay an agent a commission. You know what I mean?
You don't want to be that home buyer that has that ends up saying, I wish I would have bought a home when I didn't have to pay for my agent.
Yeah. You just
wanna
don't
be
know.
that
We
person.
don't know where the industry's going.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, I mean, fellas, any ending thoughts of that we want to finish off with? 2024 is right around the corner. This episode is gonna hopefully be out before the end of the year. And any predictions on how this year is gonna go, or something? Let's say like, what are you looking to forward the most?
Okay.
I'm looking forward to continuing this podcast, letting it grow, putting more putting more force into having this grow.
Go harder on content. I agree. Yes.
Also on the business side of this, also expanding on that and opening more doors for us. And I would say my very loose prediction is that there might be a second boom. I think like there was an earthquake and then there's the aftershock with the interest rates going down and the Fed saying they're going to cut rates again. I think people who have started to follow content about real estate or the media of real estate will kind of pick up on that and be like, okay,
A little FOMO.
let's not miss out this time again.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
It could be.
Hopefully, yeah. No, I mean it's true. Renee, what do you think?
I think we're gonna be working really hard all year, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah, like I told you, I think it's catching up. Like what everyone was touching on right now. I think people are just starting to realize, okay, well, this is what it is. My rent's about to go up. You know what I mean? That's not going any lower, right? So let me look into this house stuff, and I think that's what's about to happen. Other than that, man, just looking forward, like Edwin says, growing the podcast, man, putting out some more fire content for everybody. But I would really look forward to meeting some of our audience, man, getting some feedback, letting them know what they want to hear about. And we'll kind of throw it out there. We were just going to give away a gift card. We kind of didn't we don't know, right? Like I'm a coffee guy. If you give me a Starbucks or Dunkin', I'm happy.
Who doesn't
right?
love Starbucks? Everybody loves Starbucks.
But some people might want maybe a Home Depot card, right? Or I don't
True, to keep it on the real estate.
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
Like,
You know what I mean? So maybe we leave it up to the audience. Like, tell us if we gave away, a $50, $100 gift card.
Awesome.
Where would you want it to be from? Like, you know what I mean?
And
Okay.
I think we should make this on the next episode. We should have this giveaway the
Yeah,
details.
so-
Yeah. Like we don't know what it is.
in the,
on the
so
next-
in the comments to when this episode airs, comment down below what kind of gift card you want. Do you want it to be Home Depot? Do you want it to be to some a restaurant or a coffee shop? Whatever you want it to be, let us know down in the comments. And
And let's do this, Carlos. For the person that does comment on what kind of gift card we should give away, we'll give them a gift card. Have some coffee on us.
there you go.
Right? So if you like, right, share,
Like,
and
subscribe,
comment.
like,
and-
comment, subscribe.
Yeah, and comment on subscribe, right? Like it, and then if you comment on what what kind of card, just let us know what kind of card you would like to give away, and we'll give you a card for you commenting, and then the contest will be another card, right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So comment, get yourself some free coffee, man.
This is the easiest giveaway. Easiest giveaway. Okay, so
Very
yeah,
generous.
yeah.
Hey, man,
like
it's
I
Christmas.
said,
It's Christmas.
yeah, like
man.
I said, we're in the giving spirit, and like for me, I agree with you guys. I'm looking forward to doubling down on content. I love content. It's one thing I've realized from starting to do this podcast and doing content myself. It's not easy. So shout out to everybody who creates content and does it without a huge team, who doesn't have an editor, who doesn't have the whole production behind them, but because I understand how much it takes, how much effort. It's not just pushing record and uploading it. It's not like that. So it takes time, hard work, and I look forward to improving the quality of the podcast. So shout out to you guys who are sticking with us, because 2024 the podcast is gonna go crazy. We're gonna go bigger. It's
got
gonna
some
be
good
better.
ideas, man.
We got some big things coming. So stick around, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
See you, everybody. Happy New Year.